This project is by Cindy Matthews. It is for the class EDU 560, Teaching Technology to Students. The lesson starts with a bell ringer in the regular classroom. This way students know where they will meet every class period and they know what is expected when the bell rings. This activity focuses students towards learning math for that particular class period. The bell ringer covers current grade level material. It gives students time to focus on what that particular unit is about. Even though this day is set aside special for differentiation using technology, it is always a good idea to provide students with a frame of reference on the current grade level material. The class participates in a question and answer time, and it is a whole group structure. Once the bell ringer is finished, then any changes to the schedule can be made by the teacher. For instance, in this class, the announcement was made that there would be a test the next day, and a study guide was passed out in addition to other materials so that students could have study materials for that night. Possible schedule changes may arise if a teacher double books the computer lab, or perhaps there's a student voice survey going on, or any number of reasons why there may be changes to the schedule, and we may have to go to a different computer lab or use computer carts or whatever the case may be. By having the bell ringer, this activity provides flexibility for the teacher to make those kind of changes in real time. After the bell ringer, the teacher passes out the individualized learning plans to the students. These ILPs were created from the results from a diagnostic test. We use the STAR test to see where students are capable or not capable in their math skills. It will look at current grade level, but also in previous grades levels. The STAR test places the students in their ability range so that they can correctly answer half of the material. This gives the teacher a good indication of where that student needs to be when they are trying to close those learning gaps. For instance, even though this is an 8th grade pre-algebra class, there may be some skills that students are lacking in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and so on. Today is the day when we are going to identify those gaps and practice on those specific skills. The practice will take from 3 to 4 weeks, and at the end of that time, it is hopeful that the student will have mastered that particular learning gap, and then they will progress further on their STAR test the next time they are tested. Even though students have an ILP, I thought it would be wise to have students be in groups so that they would have a buddy, a partner, in order to talk about the current grade level material that they are working on, so they won't feel alone in their study of that particular content. A group also helps students if they have trouble with the technology. They can ask one of their group members, and that group member can assist them with logging in or navigating the website or whatever questions they may have. As you can see, the computer lab is very close to my classroom. This is a wonderful asset. So students are moving quickly to their assigned seats. They are going to log into the computer. Then they will log into Khan Academy. They will navigate to the place where they need to work. It will be a specific grade level, and it will be a specific skill that the STAR diagnostic test identified for them. At the beginning of the year, this type of learning was very new to the students. They had only had selected days with interaction with computers, And so many did not know their login information, and they had to repeat the process multiple times in order to be proficient. This classroom is recorded in the winter months where we have had several weeks of practice getting ourselves settled in the computer lab, getting logged in, and the process is very efficient. At this point, students will get to choose their activity within the program as long as it matches with content on their ILP. So they may choose to watch a video, or they may choose to practice skills, or they may choose to complete graphic organizer notes. These choices allow students the freedom to work at their own pace, to challenge themselves, as well as if they feel like they need some remediation, they can do that as well. Some modifications can be made for student engagement purposes. One modification is by adjusting the grade level in that content area. For instance, if students need numbers and sequences, then they can choose to go a grade level below what the ILP says if they feel like that the current suggestion is too difficult. It is the goal then to not only accomplish the prior year work, but then also raise them up through multiple years' work so that they can build their confidence. A second modification includes allowing students to work on current grade level content when a test is pending. So we said at the beginning of this video that students will be having a test in the next class period. Students may choose to go ahead and work on current 8th grade level work and practice those skills now, because the test to them is the most important thing, and that is their focus for engagement. They will still earn technology points, and they will still earn points towards a rubric, so that because they are demonstrating the ability to adapt technology to meet their learning goals and their learning needs. We see now that the teacher is helping a student, showing them their profile. On Khan Academy, they have a profile where they can earn energy points, they can earn badges, they have different ways of recording that data of the students' interactions, how many questions they answered correctly, how many hints and helps they had to use. The teacher uses this data in a teacher-made rubric to determine their overall score for the project. The project lasts 3 to 4 weeks, and we are working on technology standards more than we are working on math content standards. We are hopeful that the math content will be learned as a secondary response, but our primary goal is to get students to the point where they feel independent in their learning with the technology. Let's look around the room now and see some of the different tasks that students are working on. So this is a volume task where students needed a more concrete understanding. They could actually count the blocks for volume. This is a particular video. Student chose to watch a video about exponents. Exponents is a current 8th grade level skill, so this student actually scored fairly well on the STAR diagnostic test. The STAR diagnostic test also allows the opportunity for students to be enriched. So they may be above grade level, and then they can match those skills with the Khan Academy content as well. I am very careful to match higher level skills with some familiarity with the students. For instance, if students have been working with square roots, I might encourage them to try some cube roots, so they have some sort of a basis of understanding and it's not completely foreign to them. The overall task is to encourage them to learn skills on their own. So at this point, students are connecting what they need with the computer, and I am monitoring, I am facilitating that work, answering questions that students may have. These questions could be technology related. At the beginning of the year, that was the case. There was a lot of technology questions. How do I navigate? How do I move back and forth? And that sort of thing. But now it is more content based in our questions. Now let us turn our attention to some specific ILP plans. Listen also in the background about how students are working on their own skills.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I took the STAR report from the diagnostic test and I put students into groups based on their data, and then STAR gave us instructional strategies that we need that these students are missing. So this student needs to go and look at 8th grade material, Common Core related, and looking at the location of an irrational number. So students then will log into Khan Academy and will go to grade 8 and find that topic. They can watch a video, they can work on practice problems. When they work on practice problems, they can find a hint or get additional help as they need it. If these helps are not enough, then I will go around the room and help individual students to try to help them master the material as well. Some students, like this one, is on the 8th grade work. This is an 8th grade pre-algebra class. But we do have some students that are in need other assistance. Like this particular group is working on 5th grade material. And as they are proficient, we are retesting the STAR and we're putting into new groups.